Very good afternoon. Today we will discuss the topic related to the green building. The green building concepts is over here. So, what is green building? We know very well about the green building. Green building is one constructed with design and construction processes which significantly reduce or eliminate negative impact of buildings on the environment and occupants. The fundamental objective of green buildings. Basically, the fundamental objective of green building is that to conserve to conserve okay. Now, what is the main fundamental objective of green building? The main fundamental objective of green building is to conserve nature and natural uh, resources. Because if we will talk about the conservation of nature and natural resources, then definitely we will talk about the fundamental objectives of green buildings. If we will conserve nature and natural resources, definitely fundamentals would become in existence for to make green buildings. And if the buildings construction involves damage to ecology through land use, disturbance, energy intensive material and processes, increase energy efficiency. Now, the second fundamental objective of green building is that is to increase the energy efficiency. Because if we will talk about the green buildings, then definitely we will talk about the uh, increment of energy efficiency. Because the building consume about 50% of the total energy. That is, energy consumption is growing at a rate higher than the population growth rate. Okay. Now here you can see over here. Now, if we talk about the increment of energy efficiency, then definitely it would be the fundamental objective of green of buildings. Now, the fundamental objective of green buildings is to improve the indoor air quality also. If we construct any green building, then definitely the material imposed in that type of green building would be such as point and varnishes emit polluting gas like nitrous oxide as well as carbon dioxide. If we have to accumulate the benefits from green buildings, then definitely green buildings having the main benefit, that is to reduce the destruction to ecology. Second is it is the efficient use of resources during construction. Third is reduced construction waste. Then next one is reduced energy consumption, extensive use of renewable energy, efficient water management, better indoor air quality by use of non-toxic materials. If we will talk about the reduction of destruction of ecology, then definitely we will get the benefit uh, on the behalf of that, and the behalf will be the green buildings, and it is more efficient use of resources during construction, because these resources are available in the nature, but we are not using that, and that are very eco-friendly. So it would be very efficient use of resources during construction. Now, if we will talk about the reduction of construction waste, as well as reduced energy consumption, extension use of renewable energy, efficient water management. The last point is the second last point is the efficient water management. If we will talk about the efficient water management, definitely this benefit would be uh, arised with the help of green buildings. If we talk about the green building, then definitely these points would be fulfilled, and this point is this point is subjected to make our concept, which is subjected to make an efficient water management. Now, if we talk about the economics uh, with respect to green buildings, over a 40-year life cycle of building, the energy cost exceed construction costs. 40 साल लगभग हो गए, जबकि बिल्डिंग्स लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ बिल्डिंग जो है, लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ बिल्डिंग द एनर्जी कॉस्ट एक्सीड्स कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट. A green building may cost 10 to 40%, but but the energy cost would go down by 30 to 65%. This range is the maximum in comparison to the green building cost. The break-even point is achieved depending on the energy consumption. If we are stand there and we have to know about the strategies for building green buildings, then definitely there may have the following types of strategies for building green buildings. And first one is optimize use of nature for lighting and space conditioning. Second one is energy efficient light fittings. And another one is intelligent features to reduce energy wastage. Uh, why the intelligent features to reduce energy wastage? Why we are talking about this point? Well, this is that strategy in which we will reduce the energy wastage. And the fourth point is in the form of strategy for building green building, that is to use the renewable energy resources. Renewable energy resources are those energy resources which can be renewed again and again to fulfill our demands. And the next one is bioclimatic architectural principles. If we will talk about the bioclimatic architectural principles, then definitely we will talk about a perfect strategy to build a green building. Now, if we will talk about the reducing material in construction, and definitely we will talk about the strategy which is the way to establish the green building. Because if we are talking about the green building, then definitely we will talk about the reducing material use in construction. Because we have to gain some benefits, and if we reduce material use, then definitely cost will be reduced and unnecessary cost would not impose in that case. And the next point is recycling of constructional waste. If we will talk about the recycling of construction waste, then definitely we will talk about the green building construction. If we are talking about the green building, definitely we have to recycle something else by which no waste disposal can take place. And the last one, last strategy for building green building, that is the efficient water management. Water should not be wasted. If the water would waste, then definitely the strategy for building green buildings would not be occupied. So we will always talk about the efficient water management to establish a green building. Now, right now we have various type of problems in our life. And if we talk about the energy resources, then definitely there are many type of energy resources. Either we use conventional energy resources or non-conventional energy resources. And we are very much aware that how the differentiation of renewable energy and non-renewable energy resources takes place. If we talk about the non-renewable energy resources, then in the case of non-renewable energy resources, we say that these type of energy is conventional energy resources, and they are in very limited stock, so we cannot use for more time. So right now, nowadays, we are talking about the renewable energy resources, and that type of energy can be renewed again and again, and our demand can be fulfilled for for long time. So, if we will talk about the solar energy, then definitely solar energy is energy resource which gives us a green energy, and green energy is which type of energy? Green energy is a renewable energy as well as such type of energy resources which cannot give any negative impact on environment. So right now we have a current slide, and that is denoted to the bioclimatic architectural principles. In these slides, we will talk about the bioclimatic architectural principles. This would be subjected to establish a green buildings. First one is the we will talk about the orientation, then thermal mass, then building form, and building forms, that is the surface to volume ratio, etc. Next is position and size of window, setting and coatings. Next one is selection of materials for wall, roof, windows including insulation. Next one is thermal insulation of roof, wall and glazing. And the next one is landscaping. These can lead to 10 to 30% reduction in energy use. If the reduction of 10 to 30% came in energy use, definitely a bioclimatic architectural principle is very useful to us. Is it is it clear or not? I think this should be very clear to you all. Now proceed further, and let us have a look. Now we have a next slide, that is solar active features. If we talk about the solar active features, then we will talk about its application. So, if we talk about a solar water heater, with the help of solar energy, we can heat the water, and the whole system is known as solar water heater. If you talk about a solar power, then the power is emitted with the help of sun, and the solar radiation gives us the solar energy. And if the solar energy falls on the semiconductor, then that possesses some free electrons, and due to the motion of free electrons, electricity conducted. Here we can see in this slide solar passive features and solar passive. If we talk about a solar passive feature, then definitely we will talk about the direct use of solar power energy. Here in this slide there are the following type of solar passive features. First is the earth tunnel. Next one is the solar chimney. Then twin tower, cavity wall, counter yard effect, landscaping. These are the solar passive features. In this diagram, you can see over here the absorbed heat and cooled air by the evaporation in the water bodies. Now, if we will talk about the rating system, then there we have the following type of rating system. First is BREEAM BREEAM. BREEAM having a full form, that is the Building Research Establishments Environmental Assessment Method, and it is developed in United Kingdom in 1990. Next one is LEED, and LEED having a full form is the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and it is developed and piloted in the US in 1998. And LED Lead India developed in 2006. The next rating system is CASB. CASB having a full form, that is a comprehensive assessment system for building environment efficiency. Uh, it came in existence in 2001, and it was developed by the Japan. Now, now we will talk about the rating system, and the first rating system is the LEED. LEED having a full form, that is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Okay. In the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Designs, 5 key area and 69 points. Firstly, we will talk about the first key point, the key area, that is the sustainable site development. It means in the case of LEED, we will talk about a sustainable site development. After that, we will talk about the water savings. It means the rating system, that is LEED, having the key area, that is water savings. And the next one is energy efficiency, then material selection, then indoor environmental quality. It is rated as certified level of platinum level. You can see over here the LEED rating system. The LED rating system having this table, and in this table there are three columns. First column is related to the ratings. Next column is related to the number of points. Maximum number of points is 69, and then third column is related to the number of points in 2011. The points goes up to 110. For LEED certified, this range falls in between the 26 to 32, and in 2012 this value goes for the 40 to 49. LEED certified silver level, gold level, platinum level. For the silver level, this value into 2001 50 to 59. For gold level 60 to 79. LED LED certified platinum level, that is above 80 in 2011. TERI rating system, if you will talk about the TERI rating system, there are two columns. First column is rating, and another column is for the number of points. If the rate is 1 star, then 1 star gives the number of points from 50 to 60. If the rating is 2 star, then the number of points for TERI rating system is 61 to 70. If the rating star is 3, then range is 71 to 80. If the rating is star 4 to 4 star, it ranges in between the 81 to 90. If the rating is 5 star, then it ranges from 91 to 100. Okay. Now, if we will talk about the green buildings in India, then under the certification of IGBC USGBC, there are the 2,512 buildings registered, out of which 481 are certified. It means only 481 buildings are certified, while 2512 buildings are registered. Under certification of TERI, 43 are certified, in which GRIHA final 3, 1 5-star, 2 3-star. Or here, and over here, all the summary for the TERI rating system in India are given. Now, if you will talk about the benefit of green buildings, now there may have the following benefits of green buildings. First one is the tangible benefits. What are tangible benefits? If we will talk about the tangible benefits, then in the tangible benefits, the form of benefit that is 20 to 30% reduction in energy consumption. So ग्रीन बिल्डिंग का क्या बेनिफिट है? टेंजिबल बेनिफिट की अगर हम बात करें तो 20 से 30% रिडक्शन होता है एनर्जी कंजम्पशन में. दिस इज गुड और बैड. If the energy is saving, and definitely this concept will be very beneficial for us. Then if you will talk about the tangible benefit, then the green building says that the on the behalf of tangible benefit, from the 20 to 30% reduction in energy consumption takes place. Now, if we will talk about the tangible benefits for the green buildings, and this value lies in between the 30 to 40%, and the 30 to 40% of a reduction in potable water consumption. यहाँ पर भी बहुत टेंजिबल बेनिफिट में मतलब एनर्जी कंजम्पशन जो है वो कम होता है कितने से कितना परसेंट? 20 से 30%. पोर्टेबल वाटर कंजम्पशन होता है 30 से 40% का रिडक्शन. अब नाउ the second one is the intangible benefits. Intangible benefits, if we could talk about the intangible benefits, and intangible benefit is the benefit of a green building. And if we will talk about the green building, then definitely for the category of intangible benefits, the first benefit is green corporate image. Okay. And the next one is health and safety of the building occupants. Definitely, if the all things will go in such direction, uh, that all things will balance its ecosystem. Third is enhanced occupant comfort. Next one is imbibe best operating practices, and the last one is incorporate latest technologies. ये LEED इंडिया रेटिंग सिस्टम है. Yeah, LEED India rating system में there are the three columns. First in rating, then number of points to 69, number of points into according to 2012. I think these slides have been discussed. Findings of the feasibility study. Now, it is the prerequisites: sustainable site, erosion and sedimentation control, control erosion to reduce negative impacts on water and air quality, design to a site sediments and erosion control plan as per National Building Codes of India, energy and atmosphere, fundamental building system commissioning, minimum energy performance. लीड इंडिया फिर रेटिंग सिस्टम में फरवरी 2011 में होगी. तो ये टेबल कुछ इस तरीके से. ओके. Now, here the prerequisites. First one is the site selection and planning. Site selection and planning. In site selection and planning, the requisites are related to the construction activity, pollution control, then water efficiency, water use reduction. These are the prerequisites. It means before you have to find the detail of green buildings, then definitely you have to aware about the prerequisites of that. In the first prerequisite says site selection and planning. Definitely you have to talk about the site selection and planning. The location is what that would be subjected to feed the existence of the green building. Definitely after the site selection, then a plant base would be there. So we have to plan about that. So construction activity, pollution control, definitely there will be over here, and water efficiency. So in the water, if you talk about the water efficient and the prerequisites, then definitely we have to reduce the water use. Another one is energy and atmosphere. The fundamental building system commissioning. And next point is minimum energy performance, fundamental refrigerant management, and the next one is the material and resource. Storage and collection of recyclables. Definitely we will have to aware that that type of resources which can be recycled, and we have to take it seriously for the main purpose, that is to make the green buildings. And next one is the indoor environment equality. Now, first one is sustainable site. Sustainable site, that is the site selection point one. High value from land, high hydrogeological risk, habitat for any species listed as threatened or endangered, high ecological value, public. Sustainable sites having some points. such as site selection, another one is density as well as connectivity. Uh, Example of numeric values over here. 13,800 square meters area is given, and this is the within 800 meters of residential area, and it having 10 units per 4.4 hectare net. Within 800 meters, at least 10 basic services. Now, the sustainable side, alternative transportation is 12, public transportation access is 6, bicycle storage and changing rooms is 1, low emitting and fuel efficient vehicle is 3, a preferred parking capacity is 2, site development, having a site development having numerical value that is 2. And what is the main motive of site development? It is the topic to protect or restore habitat as well as to maximize the open space. Next one is the stormwater design, having the number 2 points. First is quality control. Actually, if we will talk about the quality control, definitely we will talk about the evolution of quality control. You know very well, before many years, stone as time were there, and during that time, the stone made tools for use. But as well as technologies increased, and due to the increment of technology, what happens? The tools standard got changed, and due to that change, the evolution takes place. Right now we are talking about the innovations, and this is above to the technology. So हमारी डिमांड जैसे जैसे बढ़ते जाती है, सप्लाई उसी हिसाब से होनी पड़ती है, और अगर हम चेंज नहीं किए अपने आप को, डेफिनेटली one day will come, then we will not in that touch, which should be very perfect for us to make the balance in between the demand as well as supply. Now the sustainable sites, heat island effect. There are some factors for the sustainable site, in which we will talk about the non-root portion as well as root portion, and this would be in that way, that would be completely taken out the problem of heating. Now, if we will talk about the non-roof, then in the non-roof we will place a minimum of 50% of parking spaces under cover. In the roof portion, roofing with high solar reflective index, that is greater than 78. If we will talk about China mosaic or covering with photovoltaic cell used for generating electricity, then that will be efficient for to establish a green building. Next one is the light pollution reduction. In the light pollution reduction, it is the fixtures for outdoor lighting, no light pollution, facade lighting to have downward fixtures, bollards for landscape lighting, and the low power density. Next one is the water efficiency, water efficient landscaping, and the water efficient landscaping is that thing in which we will reduce the potable water consumption for irrigation by 50%. No potable water use or irrigation. That is the water efficient landscaping. Next point for the water efficiency, that is innovative wastewater treatment and reuse. If we will use innovative wastewater treatment, then definitely we can reuse that. And if we will reuse, then water will not be wasted. water use reduction, low flow gadgets, sensor to regulate and flow of water, as well as electronic water meters or leak detection. Next one is energy and atmosphere. In the energy and atmosphere, we talk about the optimization of energy performance. First one is glazing, that is 30 to 40%. High performance glass, that is double glazed, and many points are there. Yeah, enhanced commissioning, enhanced refrigerant management, measurement, verification, green power. These are points are over here for the energy as well as atmosphere to build the green buildings. Now the materials. The 4 points are given for the building reuse, 2 points for construction waste management, 2 points for material use, 2 points for recycled content like fly ash in concrete, plaster, bricks, etc. Regional materials, then the 2 points. Use of carpet and etc. Use of recycled and refurbished material. Rapidly renewable products, 1 points for there. Certified wood. Okay, this should be in the form of material to build the green buildings. If we will talk about the indoor environmental quality, in indoor environmental quality, a building will declared as no smoking area. Definitely, if we will talk about the indoor environment quality, definitely there should be there should be no consumption of uh, carbon monoxide, and buildings be cleared as no smoking area. Third points for the new building. Outdoor air 30% more than this society, American society, and separate room for heavy duty copying machine chemical mixture. Flush out building before occupancy, and carbon dioxide monitoring system should be there. Now the next is the indoor environmental quality. Indoor environmental quality. First one is the controllability of system. If we will talk about the indoor environmental quality again, then we will talk about the controllability of system. अगर इंडोर एनवायरमेंटल क्वालिटी की हम बात करें तो सिस्टम का कंट्रोलेबिलिटी कैसी है, मतलब वहाँ की लाइटिंग कैसी है, सारी चीज़ें विजिबल है कि नहीं है, प्रॉपर सफिशिएंट लाइट है कि नहीं, देन थर्मल कंफर्ट, टेम्परेचर टेम्परेचर इतना है कि वहाँ यूज़ करने वाले जो लोग हैं वहाँ उनके लिए कंफर्टेबल है कि नहीं. नेक्स्ट वन इज लो VOC, वोल्टेज ऑर्गेनिक कंटेंट्स, adhesive sealants, carpets etc. volatile organic contents, लो VOC होना चाहिए. composite wood, लो area formaldehyde. Task lighting for 90% occupants, daylight and glows in regularly occupies areas. Now the next one is the innovation and design. Now we will talk about the innovation and design. Exemplary water efficiency, reduction in potable water use, means you have to increase this reduction more than 40%. That is the innovation and design. Regional materials to source greater than should be 95% locally. And it should be eco-friendly housekeeping materials post occupancy. should be green education, one or two other innovative ideas to be generated as the projected progress. Regional priority. Regional priority first one is the water efficient landscaping, then innovative wastewater treatment and reuse, then water use reduction, then optimize energy performance, after that enhanced commissioning, and after the enhanced commissioning, measurement and verification. These are the regional priority. First one is water efficient landscaping, then innovative wastewater treatment and reuse, water use reduction. These are the regional priorities. Now we will talk about the approach for the green buildings. Firstly, there should be a teamwork. Okay. Without teamwork, uh, nothing is possible. So for the green buildings, there should be a teamwork. And the teamwork would be among which persons? Would be the contractors, would be the consultants, and after the combining their effort, a teamwork would be came in existence. Next one is the role of CII Godrej GBC. It is the catalyst, facilitator, hand-holding, awareness and training, assist in documentation. What next? Register project with IGBC, Indian Green Building Council. Appoint consultant for facilitation, energy simulation, as well as fundamental commissioning agent. Next one is training awareness. After the registration, you will talk about the training as well as awareness, because the training is very must, in which the workers would be trained and they can work efficiently. And the energy simulation, this is the very important point, because without hampering any system, you will uh, you will have a right to watch the future after the by the implementing your operations. So energy simulation बहुत important है. Then implementation of improvements. Then documentation by consultant architects team CII. Then this will be reviewed by IGBC. Then LED India certification would be there. So these steps are those steps which will come before the Lean India certification. तो मैंने बता भी दिया है कि कितने जो है सर्टिफाई हुए हैं लीन इंडिया. 90% of the building has adequate natural lights. So, that's why the 90% of building has adequate natural lights. From this diagram you can see the solar PV system you can see over here. Rainwater harvesting and wastewater treatment is over here. And the TERI retreat model green buildings is over here. TERI retreat is over here. This is the energy efficient sustainable habitat over here. Okay. Passive space conditioning is over here. And that is the that come under the category TERI sustainable habitat. This whole diagram is related to the renewable energy. And in the renewable energy, that is the we will talk about the photovoltaic gasifier hybrid electricity. this diagram you can see this is a diesel genset generator. It produces electricity. It goes to the panel room to supply it electricity, and that's why from the solar panel the electricity produced, and this is stored in the batteries, and this here from the process it takes place. And rotational energy plantation is over here, and this is the water and waste management system. Cost of retreat versus conventional buildings. Grid connected conventional buildings initial cost is over here. A grid connected retreat buildings, that is energy efficient, that is the energy efficient building connected to the grid. Off grid retreat building is over here. I think the all things should be clear to you, and the rest session we will discuss in next lectures.